Most people never think about their thinking. They react, consume, repeat patterns, live entire lives operating at the lowest level of cognitive function, and wonder why nothing changes. There are levels to thinking, clear, measurable levels. Most stay at the bottom their entire lives, not because they lack intelligence, because they never learned that thinking itself is a skill. The Stoics understood this 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius: the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. Your thinking creates your reality. Most hand that power to algorithms, impulses, other people's opinions. Never claim it. Here's the hierarchy: where you are, how to climb. Level 1, reactive thinking, where most lives stimulus response. No filter, no pause, no examination. Insult, react with anger. Headline, accept immediately. Emotion, act without question. Social media, adopt wholesale. You are not thinking, you are being thought through. Epictetus: men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. At level 1, you don't even know you're taking a view. You believe your immediate reaction is reality. This is where algorithms want you: reactive, emotional, predictable, easy to manipulate. 2026 research: constant notifications and endless content keep the brain reactive rather than reflective. By design, level 1 thinking is comfortable. No effort, no self-examination, no discipline, and no growth. Level 2, analytical thinking, asking what, where most educated people think they've arrived, and where they stop. Level 2 is understanding information, analyzing data, following logic, solving defined problems. Bloom's taxonomy, lower levels: remembering, understanding, applying. Memorize facts, comprehend concepts, apply formulas. Valuable? Absolutely. Sufficient? Not even close. At level 2, you explain how something works. You can't question whether it should work that way. You solve problems given to you. You can't recognize when you're solving the wrong problem. The well-trained employee, competent professional, executes instructions brilliantly, but never questions the instructions. AI can do level 2 thinking. If your thinking stops here, you're competing with machines that don't sleep and cost pennies per hour. The Stoics would call this living according to external impressions without examining them. You process the world's information. You haven't learned to process your own processing. Level 2 gets credentials, not wisdom. Level 3, critical thinking, asking why. Now we're getting somewhere. Now most drop off. Critical thinking is conscious examination of your own thought processes. Metacognition, thinking about thinking. Stop accepting information at face value. Examine evidence. Question assumptions. Identify biases. Consider alternatives. Research shows critical thinking has direct positive effects on metacognition, which associates with higher psychological well-being and empathy. Not just about being smart, about being psychologically resilient. At level 3, you ask, what's the source? What assumptions am I making? What would change my mind? Am I falling for confirmation bias? What do people who disagree actually believe, and why? The Stoic practice of examining impressions. When anger arises, pause. Examine. Is this anger justified, useful, based on reality or interpretation? Marcus Aurelius did this constantly. Meditations are 2,000-year-old metacognitive exercises. Questioned reactions, examined judgments, regulated thinking. Critical thinking is teachable, but requires something most refuse: intellectual humility. You must be willing to be wrong. Question beliefs held for decades. Sit with uncertainty. Most people would rather be certain and wrong than uncertain and learning. Level 3 separates those who consume information from those who evaluate it. In an age of misinformation, the difference between being manipulated and being sovereign. But there's a higher level. Level 4, reflective wisdom, asking who? The summit, where ancient philosophy meets modern cognitive science. Level 4 is not just examining your thoughts, it's examining the thinker, recognizing you are not your thoughts, you are the awareness observing them. The Stoics called this the inner citadel, the unshakable core that remains calm regardless of external circumstances. You control your inner world absolutely, your outer world not at all. This level integrates everything: self-awareness of cognitive biases, emotional regulation through metacognitive monitoring, purpose-driven decision-making aligned with values, ability to hold paradox and complexity without anxiety. At level 4, you think in systems, not symptoms. See second-order effects. Consider long-term consequences. Recognize obvious solutions often create bigger problems. You also recognize your own limitations. True wisdom acknowledges the vastness of what you don't know. Socrates. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Not false modesty. Epistemic humility. Recognizing reality is infinitely complex. Perception is limited. Certainty is often illusion. Research shows metacognition predicts critical thinking ability beyond working memory. Not about being smart, about being aware of your own cognitive processes and actively managing them. Stoic evening reflection. Every night, review your day. Where did I react instead of respond? Where did emotions cloud judgment? Where did I act according to principles? Where did I fail, and what can I learn? This is level 4. Relentless self-examination, not for self-flagellation, for self-improvement. The practical path, upward. You don't jump levels, you climb deliberately. From 1 to 2, build knowledge. Read primary sources, not summaries. Learn frameworks and mental models. Develop technical competence. Study logic and reasoning. From 2 to 3, question everything. Ask what evidence supports this. Identify your own biases first. Steelman opposing arguments. Practice changing your mind publicly. Expose yourself to uncomfortable perspectives. From 3 to 4, examine the examiner. Daily reflection on thinking patterns. Meditation to observe thoughts without identification. Regular review of decisions and outcomes. Deliberate discomfort to build anti-fragility. Study Stoicism as practice, not theory. The Stoics didn't philosophize for entertainment. They practiced philosophy as a way of life. Epictetus was a slave. Zero control over external circumstances. Complete mastery over his inner world. Operated at level 4 in chains, while emperors operated at level 1 on thrones. Why this matters? In 2026, we live in an attention economy designed to keep you at level 1. Outrage, reaction, consumption, repeat. AI can handle level 2 better than you. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He wasn't writing about political power. He was writing about cognitive sovereignty. The question isn't whether you have the capacity to reach level 4. You do. The question is whether you have the discipline to climb. Most people stay at the bottom, not because they can't ascend, but because they never try. The Stoics would ask, what are you waiting for? Your mind is the only thing you truly control. The only question is whether you'll take ownership of it. There are levels to thinking. Most stay at the bottom. Where will you choose to climb?